Okay, hello everyone. It's Monday. Let's see, is it? It is the 11th of July. Or is it the 12th today? No, it's the 11th of July today, I believe. Hope everyone is well. We are going to be working with a tennis ball. If you do not have a tennis ball, it's no big deal. I will show you an option to work with your hands. We'll be massaging our feet. But to start, let's do a seated breathing exercise. I'll just quickly mute everyone so that there's no background noise. Here we go. Okay, sitting either in a chair or lifted up onto a pillow. Find curve in your low back. Find that your chest is lifting and your shoulders are opening wide. Okay, the neck is long, the chin is parallel to the floor. Close your eyes just for a moment and take some slow, deep breaths. So I've mentioned this before. When I say deep, it's not big breaths. They're just natural breaths. And when they're deep, it means we use the diaphragm to move. So there is a movement of your diaphragm. There's movement in the belly. And we try to limit the movement in the chest, back, and neck. You want to keep the collarbones down. Now, opening your eyes, we're going to use the mouth for our breath in. We don't typically do this in the classes because when you breathe only from your nose, you absolutely use the diaphragm, okay? And you raise the awareness of using the diaphragm. However, in this exercise, we'll be using the mouth, and there are two ways we can do it. Either curling the tongue like this, or if you cannot curl the tongue, which by the way, apparently it's genetic, if you're unable to curl the tongue, you simply put the tongue out a little bit like that, so that there's a very small airway to pull the air in. When we lessen the airway, the diaphragm will work more, okay? So either curl the tongue or bring it against the lower teeth so that the air goes over the tongue. Here we go. We'll breathe in. We're going to do this 10 times. Breathe in. Close your mouth. Breathe out through your nose. That's it. Again, air goes over the tongue, either curling or flat. Breathe in. And breathe out through the nose. If you'd like, you can close your eyes and let's keep going. Breathing in. Breathing out through the nose. Now that you've practiced that a few times, see if you can do it very slowly. Breathing in and breathing out through the nose. Keep going. You don't have to direct the breath into the chest or into the diaphragm. Just let the body take over and do it the way it needs to while you let the air go over your tongue. We'll do about 5 more. In the yogic world, this breath is called Shitali. Shitali. It's a type of pranayama, and it's used to cool the body down. And of course, we're not having so much of a heat wave in Europe right now. It's much cooler and there's a lot of rain. It's quite wet. But it is a very hydrating breath, because as we breathe in, the air that goes over the tongue, it humidifies the air. So you may feel its cooling effect. Be sure you keep your chest lifted and your low back curved as you do this. Do just 2 more. If you haven't counted the last 5, just do 2 more. And this breath also helps to calm the mind and focus the mind. Last one. Very nice, everyone. Open your eyes, raise your arms up over your head, clasping the fingers, push the palms skyward, lift up through the chest. Take a deep, deep breath in. And as we breathe out, let's lean to our right. Let the head go over to the side gently, then rising back up. Breathe in, breathe out, go over to your left. Good. Breathing in, let's rise back up. Breathe out, let's lean to our right. Breathing in, breathing out, lean to the left. One more time each side. Breathe in, breathing out to the right. Breathing in and out to the left. Beautiful, everyone. Come back to center, palms together, thumbs into the upper back. Lift your chin and gently press your head against your arms, lifting and opening the chest and the throat. Feel the stretch in the arms as well. Feel really good. And let's reach to the sky with the arms. Keep the shoulders down as you reach, and then gently bring your hands down in front of your heart center. Perfect. If you're seated on the floor, roll over, come up onto your hands and knees. If you are seated in a chair, come onto your mat, onto your hands and knees, please. If you have the tennis ball, just have it next to you. Hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And we'll begin by curling the spine, lift the chin, look skyward. And then we'll round, look to the belly button, pull the belly button up and in. And again, we'll curl, looking skyward. Breathing out, let's round, look to the belly button. 3 more times, breathing in, curling. Breathing out, rounding. And again, breathe in and curl. Breathing out, rounding. Last time, let's breathe in and curl. And breathe out and round. Coming back to a flat back. Let's open the knees and sink back into child's pose. If possible, reach your arms out in front of you. You can place your forehead down onto the floor and take a few deep breaths here. And perhaps you should feel it in the thighs, maybe in the low back, maybe in the hips. If it's too much to bring the head down, you can also bring your arms under your forehead to support. Take a few more deep, slow breaths. Coming up onto the hands and knees. Bring your knees hip width now. Keep the hands in front of you. And we'll do that bouncing back and forth. So you press the hips back. This is a rocking movement. And it's actually extremely, extremely good for your articulations, for your joints. Keep the back curved as you do this. Now, keeping the hips back, we're going to roll up. Right foot sets itself down, maybe hip distance or a little bit wider from the left knee, but around the same height. Reach your right arm out in front of you, fingertips on the floor, and we press back again. So this changes a little bit in the articulation of the right hip, but is very, very good for the hips and the low back, as well as the knee. One more. Bring the right hand down, bring the right knee down, and we'll change. Lifting the left knee, the heel is on the floor, hips are back. Reach your left hand out in front of you, and here we go. We're bouncing back. Getting into that left hip, and the articulation should feel pretty good in the hip. And the knee also is getting some warming up. Good. One more bounce back, and we'll bring the hand down, bring the knee back down. Let's tuck the toes under and take our crouching cat or down dog. Hips are lifting, knees are bent, and we'll bounce back and forth here. The knees open as you bounce back. 3, 2, 1. Okay. For those of you who have a tennis ball, we're going to come to standing. For those of you who don't have a tennis ball, we're going to bring our knees down and you'll just come to sitting, okay? So sit in a cross-legged position if you don't have a tennis ball. If you have a tennis ball, walk your hands back. Set the hands on the thighs. Keep the back curved as you lift up and come all the way to standing. Okay, for those of you with the tennis ball, place the ball on your mat and place your right foot on top. And you'll roll up and down. So this is massaging the plantar fascia. For those of you who don't have a tennis ball, you'll be sitting on the floor. You'll take your right foot, take your thumbs, and you'll be massaging from underneath the ball of the foot all the way down to the heel. Just up and down with the thumbs, okay? Now this is an important part to massage because in our feet, we have many, many different arches. Not just the main arch, which is the longitudinal arch, but we have medial arches going from side to side. And with a tennis ball, the nice thing is it's massaging into those arches because it's round. Now, place the tennis ball just underneath the ball of the foot. That's where the joints, where the toes will meet the foot, and it's just underneath it. And you'll press downwards into the tennis ball. Do that about 10 times. So if you're on the floor with your thumbs, the place to press is just here, okay? This is called the bubbling brook in Chinese medicine. You want to press into that spot. It's a very nice place of the foot, and it's the crossing point of quite a few of the arches of the foot. It's also an energetic point. So you press in about 10 times with the tennis ball or with your thumbs. Good. Okay. For those of you on the floor, let's switch feet. Bring the other foot in and start to massage up and down. For those of you standing, again, you're going to roll up and down on the left foot, up and down, massaging that plantar fascia. Okay. This feels super good to me. It's a really nice, nice massage. Now we're going to get to the bubbling brook, which is right underneath the ball of the foot, and it's kind of where the arches meet. So you'll press into that with the ball, and the arches curl over the ball. If you don't have the ball, you press in there with your thumbs. It should not be painful. If it is painful, back off a little bit. Okay. So we're pressing in about 10 times. Do about 3 more here. And afterwards, you can place the tennis ball to the side. For those of you who are on the floor, bring your feet around once again. Come up onto your hands and knees. Push up onto the feet. And again, come to standing with all the rest of us. Now, everyone bring your feet hip-width apart. And I want you to rock forwards and backwards. So you rock up onto your toes and back onto your heels. You're rocking forwards and backwards. This is part of the importance of practicing with bare feet. When we practice with bare feet, we can get into all of those tiny muscles in the feet and ankles, as well as all of the articulations of the feet. Now, from here, I want you to rock your feet side to side. Of course, if you have any pain in the knees with this movement, stop and back off. But it should be so small and so little that it's all right for your feet, your ankles, and your knees. Then watch this. We're going to be doing a circle. So I want you to roll to the outer edge of your right foot, inner edge of your left, and you circle your knees around and you roll on the soles of the feet. Excellent. This is an exercise that was given to me by a physiotherapist, and it helps to restructure the feet, and it gets into all the articulations of the feet. Change the direction, and it is for absolutely everyone. It's very, very good for everyone. Oftentimes some misalignments in our legs, knees, hips, and back start with the feet. So if we can get those feet working the way they should, super. Okay, let's shake the feet out, right and left. Beautiful. Come to the front edge of your mat. Set your feet perfectly hip width. Line them up so that they're pointing straight forward. Bring your arms by your sides. Lift your ribs away from the hips. Lift the chest. Lengthen the neck and widen your shoulders. And just notice right now how you're feeling in your feet. Right now, my feet feel like, wow, they're alive. They might feel a little bit sore, actually, right now. But I feel like, I can contract almost all the muscles in there and hold on to the floor with my feet. Bring your hands to your heart center. And let's get moving. Take a deep breath in. Raise the arms, stretching skyward. As you fold, bend nicely. The knees, bend at the hips. Let the hips go way, 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 way back until the hands come to the floor. Now we're going to step our feet back and take a plank position. Feel how your feet stretch here. Your toes tuck under, hips are lifted, and especially lift your head looking forward. Lower your knees down. Lower your chest down. Everyone come down slowly. Let's point the toes, press the tops of the toes into the floor, and rise up to a little cobra. Bring the chest back down. Push up onto the hands and knees. The hips will go back. Tucking your toes under, rise either to crouching cat or down dog. Now here we're going to turn our toes and our knees to the right, and we'll bounce. 3, 2, we're getting into those muscular structures. 1, now we'll turn the toes and knees to the left, and we'll bounce. 3, 2, 1, coming back to center. Begin stepping your feet forward and see if you can step with your feet pointing forward until you get to the front edge, feet hip width, hands onto the thighs. Let your hips go back, lifting the chest. Raise your arms into that chair position and then rise to a standing position, hands at your heart center. We'll do that again, nice and slow, nice and smooth. Deep breath in, rise up. Breathing out, you fold everything, elbows, hips, knees. Stepping back to a plank position. Lifting your head, lower the knees down, gently lower your chest down. Pointing your toes, press the toes down into the floor as you rise to a cobra. Bring your chest back down. Push up onto the hands and knees. Tucking the toes. We're going to take crouching cat or down dog. Knees bend. Turn your knees to the left this time, and we bounce. 3, getting into those feet. 2, 1, change sides. 3, 2, 1, pointing forward. Begin stepping forward. See if you can step forward, pointing the toes forward. Feet at hip width, knees bend, hands to the thighs, lift the chest. Raise your arms and come all the way up to standing. Hands to your heart center. Let's do that again, everyone. Deep breath in, rise up. Breathe out, fold forward. I'm going to come have a look. Good. Step back to a plank position. Excellent. Move yourself down. Very nice. Good, Claire. Good, Finola. Point your toes. Press the tops of the toes down and rise up to Cobra. Beautiful, Christian. And bring your chest back down as you push back to down dog or crouching cat. Yes, Luca. Turn your knees to the right and bounce. Good, Gitel. 3, 2, 1. Turn your knees to the left and bounce. 3. Good, Claudia. 2, 1. Looking forward. Begin stepping your feet forward. Come into that chair position. Yes. Hips are back. Yes. Raise your arms. Excellent. Very, very good, everyone. Hey, Ivana, good job. Rise up to standing, hands to your heart center. Let's do one last round. Let's do this. Rise up and then folding forward. Beautiful. Stepping back. Plank position. Lift your chin. Lift your chin. That's it. Good. Bring your knees down and move all the way down to the floor, pointing the toes. Rise up. Cobra position. And bring your chest back down as you push back to down dog or crouching cat. Excellent. Turn your knees to the left this time. 3, bouncing. 2, 1. Turn your knees to the right. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Looking forward and begin stepping forward. Good. Come up into a chair position. Now I want everyone to stay in the chair position. First, raise your arms just to get that engagement a little bit more into your back, and then bring your hands to your heart center. So we're going to test out the feet, see how well they're working. Lift your chin and raise your right foot up. Hold it here. Hips are back. Engage nicely into your left leg and feel your left foot working. Keep you there. Now we'll bend forward and you just let the right leg come up behind you for what we call propeller pose. Lift the chin, lift the chest, curve the spine. And then come back into the chair position, set the foot down, and we get ready for the left leg lifting. Raise the leg, up. Get that right foot engaging to hold you there. Right leg is working. Now we'll lean forward, bring the left leg behind you, up behind you into the propeller pose. Lift and open the chest, get strong. And then bring the foot back and rise up to a standing position. Good. Okay, we're gonna add that on. We're going to be doing things a little bit differently for our cardio part, okay? This is where we're moving. We're in a flow. We're in a vinyasa flow. And I'm going to add on some new moves. So get ready for this. Take a deep breath in, rise up, stretching. And then we fold. We fold at the elbows. We fold at the hips. Now we're going to step our right leg back, not very far, halfway up the mat. Bring the right heel down by turning the right foot out to the side, both knees bent. Bring your hands to your front thigh and lift the chest so you help yourself up. The hips stay back. From here, we're going to bring our hands onto our elbows. So bring the right hand, grab the left elbow, left hand grabs the right elbow underneath. Hips are back, and we're going to bounce here. 3, go down as low as possible. 2, 1. Now turn to your right and turn both feet out. So you have a squat position, open squat. Knees open wide towards the feet. Pull against your hands and your elbows as if you want to bring your arms apart. So we pull and we squat down. 3, 2, that's it. 1. Now turn all the way to your right foot, getting back into that squatting position that's a lunge, and we squat again. 3, 2, 1. Now face the front of your right foot. So you turn yourself completely. You're going to bring your hands to the floor. So you've turned yourself around. Hands come to the floor and take a plank position, everyone. Plank position. Hold your plank, lift your chin. 3, 2, 1. Knees come down. Now the feet can come up. You can open your hands, and here we're going to do a push-up. You could do 1, 2, or 3 push-ups, as many as you wish. Once you're finished, come on down. Point your toes, press the toes into the floor. Hands underneath the shoulders. Rise to a cobra. Chest comes down, pushing back on the knees, taking crouching cat or down dog. Looking to your hands, begin stepping your feet forward. See if you can keep your feet pointing forward. Bend your knees low, hands to your thighs, lift the chest. Now, hands to your heart center. Listen carefully. You're turned the other way. Just listen along. You're going to raise your left leg. We'll bend it forward to get into that propeller pose. And then we'll rise back up, setting the foot down. Come all the way to standing. Good. We'll do the whole thing on the other side. Feet hip width, toes pressing down into the floor. Take a deep breath in, rising up. Fold everything forward, all the way down. Elbows bend, knees bend, everything comes down, fingers down. Step your left leg back this time. Turn the heel in. Hands to the front thigh to lift up. This time, your left hand grabs your right elbow first. The right hand goes underneath and grabs the left elbow. Sink back in a little squat. 3, 2, 1. Turn to your left. Toes are out. Knees open wide. Pull against your elbows as if you want to separate your arms. And squat. 3. Deep squat. Knees wide. 2. That's it. 1. Good job. Now turn to your left so that you're facing the front edge of your mat again. You're still in the tribal lunge. And we'll squat down. 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands down and step yourself back into a plank position. Lift your chin. Hold it here. 3, 2, 1. Knees come down. You can lift your feet if you want. Open your hands. 1, 2, or 3 push-ups. However many you want to do. All the way down. Hands under the shoulders. Point your toes. Rise to a cobra. Push back. Down dog or crouching cat. Looking to your hands. Begin stepping forward. Bend your knees, hands to your thighs, rise up, hands to the heart center. Listen carefully, we raise the right leg up, propeller pose, bring it behind you, back up to standing, feet come down, straightening the legs. Ready? We're gonna go a little bit faster with all of that. Let's go, deep breath in, rise. Breathing out. Fold. Step your right leg back. Turn it in. Hands to the front thigh. Rising up. Grab your elbows. Right arm on top of the left. We sink. 3, 2, 1. Face to your right. Turning right. Toes out. Sinking down. 3, 2. Hips go back. 1. Turn again to your right. Facing the back of your mat. Sinking. 3, 2, 1. Hands come down. Step it back to a plank position and hold. Head lifted. 3, 2, 1. Knees come down. Open your hands. You can lift your feet if you want. Push-ups. 1, 2, or 3 times. All the way down. Point your toes. Rise to a cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Stepping your feet forward. Hands to your thighs, lift your chest. Hands to the heart center. Raise your left leg up. Propeller pose. The right leg stays bent. Moving back up. Chair position. And come to standing. Same thing, other side. Deep breath in. Fold it all forward. Step your left leg back. Hands to the front thigh, lift the chest. Grab left arm on top of the right, sinking down. 3, 2, 1. Turn to your left. Toes pointing out. Pull against your elbows, sinking. 3. Down deep. 2. That looks good. 1. Turning into your left. You're now back to the front edge of your mat. 3, 2, 1. Hands come down. Plank position. Holding. 3. Head lifted. 2, 1. Knees come down. Open your hands. Push-ups, however many you want to do. All the way down, pointing the toes. Cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Looking to your hands, stepping forward. Hands to your thighs, lifting up. Hands to the heart center, raise your right leg. Propeller pose. Keep curving your low back while you do all of these positions. Rising back up. Bring the foot down. Standing. Good job. Release your arms by your sides. Take a couple of deep breaths. Just recover a little bit from the work. And let's set our hands onto our hips. Step your right leg back. Okay, here we're going to take a high lunge position, not the tribal lunge, but a high lunge. The right heel lifts up. Both knees are bent. And we're going to lift and open the chest. As you sink back, you're going to let your hips go back towards the back heel and rise back up. Now we're going to do this with arms stretched out in a V position. You can curl the fingers if you wish, or just stretch the fingers. So we'll sink down and hips back, lifting back up. 4 more. 3, 2. Sink down as low as possible. If possible, bring your knee down to the floor. If it's not possible, bring your hands down to bring the knee down. Everyone bring both knees down, hands down, walk your knees back. Stretch your right leg out to the side and press your hips back, getting a stretch of the inner thigh. Reach your right arm far out in front of you and hold here. 3, 2, 1. Coming back, slide the right knee forward and cross the ankle over the left thigh. Let your hips curl back. Reach your arms as far forward as possible. And getting that stretch into the right hip. It should feel pretty good. 3, 2, 1. Coming back up. Uncross your legs. Take a crouching cat position. Tilt your hips up. Lift your chin forward, and we're going to bounce here, opening the knees. 3, 2, 1. Step your feet forward. Hands to your thighs. Lift up into chair position. Arms by your ears. Hold it here. Lengthen the belly. Hips back. 3, 2, 1. Hands to the heart center. Come up to standing. And let's release the arms by our sides. Good job. Hands come back to the hips. Reach your left foot back. Heel is lifted. Hips move back towards the back heel, so you get that curve in the back. Raise your arms up to a V. You can curl the fingers if you want, or reach. Here we go. We're going to sink down. The hips go back. 5 times. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold down low. If possible for you, keep the arms here and come down onto the left knee. Control it with your right leg. If it's too much, bring the hands down and bring the knee down. Got it? Good job. Now the hands come down, everyone. Right knee comes down. Left leg out to the side, toes pointing forward. Send the hips back. Reach your arms forward. Holding here. You should get a deep stretch into the left inner thigh. 3, 2, 1. Hands come back down. Bring that left knee forward. Cross the ankle over the right knee. Curl your spine, hips go back. Reach your arms forward. And again, getting a stretch into that left hip. Should feel pretty good. This is the alternative to the pigeon. It's called Falcon Pose. 3, 2, 1. Walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. Uncross. Walk your knees back well. Come back into crouching cat. And we'll bounce here, knees wide. 3, 2, 1. Step your feet back. Taking a plank position, lift your chin, pull the chest forward, knees are soft, hips lifted, belly is strong. Keep breathing in and out through the nose if possible. 3, 2, and 1. Lower your knees down. Let's lower the chest all the way to the floor. Hands underneath the forehead. Relax your feet, ankles, and you can just let go here for a moment. If you want, move your hips from side to side. Just find what works for you right now. Okay. Lifting the head and shoulders. I want you to bring your hands wide, fingertips on the floor. So the elbows are bent, hands are really wide, the palms are lifted. Okay, so it's that spidering of the hands. Lift up your head, chest, and shoulders, pressing gently into your hands, not too high. Then we want to lift the legs. Squeeze the glutes tight, point your toes, really tighten up your legs, feel your back working. Take deep breaths in and out through the nose. 3, 2, and 1. Back down, hands under the forehead. This time, bend your knees and let your feet go side to side. This really massages into the thighs, as well as letting go of the low back and hips. Keep the knees bent, flex your feet, touch the heels together. But here's one of my favorite postures, my new favorite posture for the back. It's the parachute position. So you'll lift your head and shoulders. You'll bring your arms to the sides in a cactus position, so the elbows are up off the floor, and see how high you can raise your legs. So you want to get the knees up and maybe a little bit, just the bottoms of the thighs, just above the knees. Lift and open the chest. And we hold. 3, 2, 1. Come on back down, hands under the forehead. And again, let your feet go from side to side, releasing. Well done. Last position, we're on the belly, we're going to do the Cobra. So stretch your legs, press the tops of the feet down. Hands under the shoulders, widen your shoulders to the sides, and rise up to beautiful Cobra, lifting up the head. Think about drawing the neck back, okay? So for those of you who are following the workshop on workplace posture, if you draw your chin back like you have your finger on your chin, draw it back and lengthen the neck. Holding 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come on back down. Push up onto the knees. Right hand off the mat. Left hand on top, press your hips back. Get a good stretch down the left-hand side of the body. Rising back up. Let's change. Left hand off, right hand on top. Press back. Lifting back up. Hands onto the mat. Let's walk the knees forward gently and slowly. Bring your feet to one side. Come to a seated position. Feet in front of you. Let's roll down onto our backs. Belly goes in as you roll down. Set your feet close to your hips. So we'll just do one type of bridge today. No hamstring bridge. Elbows into the floor. Open the chest. Lengthen your neck at the same time. Lifting your hips up to a position that's good for you for your hips. Okay? Keeping curve in the back. Feel that the glutes are firing. Take some deep breaths here in half bridge. If you typically do full bridge and you regularly do it every week, you could come now, hands to the side of the head, come to the crown of the head and rise to full bridge. If not, stay in half bridge. Deep breathing. Good job. Let's raise our arms over the head, reach behind, and very slowly lower the back, one vertebra at a time. Once the back is all the way on the floor, open your feet wide and let your knees fall to the right. Reach your left arm far behind you, getting length through the belly. Raise your left knee first, right knee follows, and let the knees fall to your left now. Reach your right arm far behind you. Raise your right knee first, left knee follows. Okay. From here, we're going to raise both knees at 90 degrees. Clasp your hands behind your head. Lift and open the shoulders. Okay. Keep the elbows wide. And here, my head is just resting in my hands, so it releases the muscles at the neck. If you find it's tough for you to do this without pulling your elbows forward and pulling against the neck, then I would suggest bringing your fingertips around your ears. However, be careful you're not straining through your neck. Okay, keeping the head and shoulders lifted, keeping curve in the low back. Let's point the toes and stretch the right leg out as far as possible. Come back to center. Now the left leg, stretch it out. Keep the belly long and strong. Bring it back. Right leg. Continue breathing in and out through the nose. Bringing it back. And left leg. Now, if this is far too easy with one leg, do both legs. Out and in. If it starts to strain the low back, however, just do one leg. So be very aware of what's going on at your low back, as well as at your neck. Please support the neck and the head. Now, if this continues to be super easy for you, there is another level. There's always another level. You could stretch your arms out behind you and then bring them back in when you bring the knees in. Up and bring them back in. So we're actually breathing in as we reach our legs out and breathing out as we bring them back. 3 more times. 2 more. Here's the last one. Whew. All right, bring the head and shoulders down. Bring the knees in towards the shoulders to release the low back. Relax your feet and rock a bit from side to side. Good. Now we're not quite finished yet with the legs. Let's bring the hands underneath the hips. So we're working the abdominals. Hands under the hips, head and shoulders down, neck is relaxed. Bring your legs straight to the sky and flex the feet. Okay. Keeping your hands nicely underneath your hips to support the low back. Bring your legs to your right. So you're going to be crushing a little bit your right hand. Pull the belly in and then rise back up. We'll change sides to the left. You'll be crushing your left hand now a bit and rise back up. All right, to the right and rise back up. To the left and rise back up. Now, we're going to be raising the intensity. We go to the right and we'll swing the legs away from us, then to a diagonal position and rise back up at center. So it's doing a half circle. Go to the left, actually a quarter circle. Swing the legs away from you and then lengthening out to diagonal and rising back up. To the right, out, quarter circle, and back up to center. Left, quarter circle, back up to center. Be controlled. To the right. If it's too much, you could bend the knees and do it with knees bent. Back to center. To the left. Back to center. We're going to do it one more time each side. To the right. Back to center. And up. Last one to the left. Control it nicely. Back to center. And up. Knees to the chest. Rock from side to side to release. Good job, everyone. Bring your feet down. Knees stay bent. Find curve in your low back and raise your right leg to the sky. Grab behind the thigh and root the thigh down into the floor. It'll create curve in your low back. Just doing this exercise for a lot of people creates relief in the hip joint. So if you do this properly, pulling the leg down into the floor, it can really get the femur bone and a memory of where the femur bone should go in the hip joint at all times. So pulling down, flex your foot, and now let's draw a big circle with the foot. So let's see if we can get back into all those articulations, all the joints that are found in the foot. Change the direction. 26 bones in each foot. That's a lot of articulating surfaces. All those bones articulating with each other. Now flex the foot as much as possible. And if you don't feel the stretch down the back of the leg, maybe you can start pulling the leg towards you. But most of you, if you straighten the leg out completely, curve the spine and pull the leg down, you will feel a stretch. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Open your arms nice and wide, palms to the sky, and let the knees fall to your right. Turn your head to the left. Shoulders stay relaxed on the floor. Allow the right foot to slide off the left knee. Lift your left knee first, right knee follows. And raise your left leg now. Grab behind the thigh, root the thigh down into the hip socket. And let's start circling the foot. Getting into all those articulations. Each time we move, it helps to hydrate the different articulations. So it's super important to constantly remind yourself to move throughout your day. Change the direction. Because when we don't move, those articulations dry out. Flexing your foot. Pull the leg towards you if you need to. Straighten as much as possible, just with the muscles around the thigh to straighten your leg. Keep pulling the leg down into the hip socket. Good. Now we'll cross that left ankle over the right thigh. Open the arms wide, palms facing skyward. Let your knees fall to your left and turn your head to the right. Spinal twist. We'll uncross, let the left ankle fall off the right knee, lifting back up. Happy baby pose, lifting both feet up, knees stay bent. Grab either behind the knees, around the ankles, or at the bottoms of the feet. Pull the knees towards the shoulders or even wider than the shoulders. Lengthen out your neck at the same time. And then we'll release, stretching one leg at a time out onto the mat. Bring your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Let the toes roll out to the sides. And let's set our hands onto our bellies. And see if as you breathe in, you can allow the belly to rise. And as you breathe out, you allow it to fall and sink inwards. Taking those deep belly breaths. And at the same time, look for a nice release in your breath. So there's no forcing. The breath is smooth and calm. And as you breathe, just imagine that the air coming in and out of your body brings with it health, energy, vitality. Imagine it bringing calm and focus. Imagine it bringing energy and health. Now continuing your breath. Allow your mind just to wander. Sometimes when we're in these relaxed states, we become creative. Finding solutions. finding new ideas. Begin now to deepen your breath. Begin moving your fingers and your toes. Raise your arms up over your head. Bring your knees into your chest. Squeeze them against the chest. And perhaps rock a bit from side to side. Just coming back gently. Bring your right arm to your right ear. Roll to your right hand side. And from there, pushing into the floor, lift from the side to a seated position. Yes. Let's rub our hands together. Bring your hands over your face, gently tapping around your eyes. Shake the hands out. Do that one more time. Hands come to your heart center. Everyone have a lovely afternoon, very nice day. Namaste. Well done, everyone. Good job.